Welcome back.
Check it out, hey ladies, get closer. Fellas, you know what to do. So everybody in the place to be. Now that we in harmony.
Today I'm going to be doing a video on my advice I would give to incoming and current college students. As you can see, well, you can't see all the way, but we have some new additions to the wall, I guess. I want to, have a little setup for myself. This is my experience from things that I've observed, just not myself, but just through my friends, hearing some things. I lived in the worst dorm on campus. Yeah, I lived there all first year. And then now that I'm in my second year of college, I'm online for the first semester, and then second semester I'll be going to school in person, but I live off campus now. A lot of my friends live off campus now that it's the second year or their third or second year. So here's my advice that I would give to you. This is specifically for incoming freshmen, but my first piece of advice to you is to pick your roommate. I'm not saying that you have to find somebody that you know. What I'm saying is do not let them give you a randomly assigned roommate. 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, it's not going to work out in your favor. That person's a complete stranger. Your best bet is to go into that student portal, look through your options of roommates, pick somebody with similar interests, similar friendliness levels, similar attendance levels, all of that. You should pick somebody who is similar to somebody who got a randomly assigned roommate, because I couldn't find anybody that I knew. It wasn't even like terrible from my personal experience. There were a lot of things that could have been avoided. However, we were two completely different types of people. Make sure that you go through and look at your options before you get randomly assigned a roommate, because there's probably a better option than what they're going to randomly assign you. 9 times out of 10, they're going to randomly assign your roommate based off of your major. My next little piece of advice, this one is like minuscule. This is for anybody who's like struggling to form a routine for themselves. I make my bed every morning, and I would tell anybody and everybody who asks me, if there is something that you can do to make yourself more productive in the morning, is to always make your bed. Like seriously, because me personally, I don't sleep under my comforter often, but when it gets cold outside, I do sleep under my comforter. But even if I don't sleep under my comforter, I still get up, fold the blankets that I was sleeping under, put my pillows up, put my stuffed animals up, do whatever I was gonna do before I get started with my day. I still do that here, even though I don't live on campus anymore. I still get up and make my bed in the morning. That is a great way to start your day, and just to do something in silence, do something productive without it requiring a lot of labor. The days that you don't make your bed, you're going to feel like your room's a mess, your life's a mess, and everything's going downhill. Trust me. This next piece of advice, this one was out of annoyance because I knew I wasn't the one causing these problems. Do you hear me? Because listen, my next piece of advice is if you have a communal bathroom, please think of others and be clean. It's not hard. It's really not hard. If you've ever lived on campus and have had to share a bathroom with hundreds of other girls, you realize that everybody was not taught cleanliness. Everybody was not taught to be considerate of other people's space, because it's not just your space anymore. On top of it being inconsiderate to every other person living there, it's also inconsiderate to the custodians. It's inconsiderate to everybody. It's inconsiderate to the RAs. Why should anybody have to tell you to clean up, especially because we're all girls? You should never be leaving your pads or your tampons or your hair on the shower wall. You shouldn't be leaving anything like that. You shouldn't be leaving period blood on the toilet seat. It's not even a fact of the matter if you've been taught or not. It's just the fact of the matter of you being nasty. You being told once is something different, but you having to keep being told as a grown woman in college, that is not fun. You need to get your own private bathroom, your own private suite if you want to be nasty. It's like every day that I was on campus, there was constantly somebody texting in the group me about somebody doing something nasty in the bathroom. Well, I remember that they were throwing away their tampons and their pads and then flushing them down the toilet, and it got to the point where everybody on the floor almost got charged, and now there are signs everywhere in the bathroom. We should know that. We should all know that. That's common sense. My next piece of advice is don't be inconsiderate of other people's fun. Realize that this is college and people are going to be loud sometimes. People are going to stay up late sometimes. People are going to be out late sometimes. Now, I'm not telling you to let it slide every single day of the week and it's Tuesday and you out and you being loud and all that and I got a test tomorrow. No, I'm not telling you to accept that. But what I'm saying is if it's Friday night and the quiet hours aren't until 10 p.m. and you're going to bed at 8 p.m., don't be mad at other people for being loud in the hallways or playing music in their room or having friends over in their room or doing anything like like that. You're not the only person that lives here. Just because you decided to go to sleep early and not interact and engage or go out, that is your choice. I was one of those people that like to stay in as well. But if other people are being loud and it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you're just going to have to accept that. That is a part of being in college. Complaining to the RAs and texting in the group me and all of that is not going to do anything for you except annoy people. And I'm being so real with you. It's like 9 o'clock and me and my friends are giggling in my room and somebody's like pounding on my wall. Also, little side note, do not like pound on somebody's wall, knock on somebody's wall. Get your ass up and knock if you're really feeling that emboldened, because when I tell you I was literally ready to choke my neighbors because she kept banging on my fucking wall and she was crazy. Oh my God, I don't even have this one written down, but my next piece of advice, don't be a rude neighbor. Don't. Because yes, these walls are thin, but regardless, you're going to hear me. With that being the fact, I'm not a terribly loud person. And I know I'm not, but my bed is literally laying against the wall. And so it's like, no, I can't like quiet down on my phone call because I'm already quiet. You could just hear me because we're wall to wall. And then it's like when you're on the phone, I can definitely hear you. You're on the phone at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And I'm hearing you, but you don't hear me banging on the wall. Be a considerate neighbor. And if somebody else is not being considerate, the first option is not to be rude. It's not, because you're never going to get met with kindness if you're being rude, I promise you. My next piece of advice, do not fall into the sleeping around and spending your whole first year in a codependent relationship. Don't fall into that trap, do not. If you're going to have a relationship in college, you need to be able to learn how to make sure that you're paving your own path, if that makes sense, that you're becoming Halloween, that you're becoming your own person separately and you're doing things separately, making friends separately without this being like a joint thing. As for the sleeping around part, I don't fall into that trap. That is literally like the number one advertisement for college, especially for college students who have never had freedom before and you're coming to college. Do not sleep around. It's not fun, it's not fulfilling, it's not gonna do anything for you. And when I say sleep around, I don't just mean having sex, I mean like don't be in multiple talking stages. That is going to blow up in your face. That's why a lot of people, they're going through it their first year, that little 19 relationship thing. The reason that you're going through it is because you have the added stress, added anxiety and looming over your head of, oh, I have a 6-hour study session I have to do tomorrow. I have a test the next day. I have finals, da 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 da. You have all of these things looming over your head, anxiety in your chest, and then you're depressed on top of that because this person, this relationship, you saw your talking stage go with somebody else. You saw this person that you used to talk to. You saw this person that you do talk to. Obviously, these things are sometimes inevitable. Sometimes like a relationship comes to you and these things are not preventable. However, a lot of these situations are preventable. It's like you are putting too much passion and focus into finding a relationship or maintaining a relationship and forgetting that you have paid thousands of dollars to be here, thousands of dollars to be even sitting in the room that you're sitting in, and you're forgetting and you're losing sight of that because you are in a relationship. I'm filming a YouTube video.
I don't care. I don't fucking care the way y'all was blowing up my fucking phone.
Alright, sorry for that interruption. My sister and my nephew called me, but back to what I was talking about. You paid a lot of money. Even if you didn't pay a lot of money, even if you got a scholarship, all of that, you've worked hard to get where you are right now. Just make sure that you are there not for a relationship at all. A relationship is something that comes to you naturally and you are able to navigate everything else within the relationship. A relationship should not be like your main focus. A relationship should be something that happens naturally along the way. I've seen too many people fall victim into that little dynamic because you think this is grownish, and it's not. It's like you need to lock in. This next piece of advice is a continuation of the last one. If you are sleeping around or talking or dating multiple people, please wear protection. And please go get tested. I'm being so serious. Like, trust me, there is nothing worse than hearing all of the horror stories in college about like the most insidious things that you could think of. People can be evil. There are plenty of resources on campus to where you can get tested. There are plenty of resources on campus where you can get condoms. Literally every time at my school last year, Every single doctor, you could have been going to the dentist and there would have probably been condoms on that desk, I promise you. Like, seriously, make sure that you are aware and that you know that there's always a possibility of the person that you are sleeping with somebody else on campus. This goes for in general, but on campus it's worse because you have to think, this is everybody's first year of true freedom. Everybody's in close proximity to each other. Boys and girls are usually only separated by a floor, if that. And let me be real with you, like, I'm not one for generalizing people. I'm really not. Them college athletes, baby. Like, y'all have to protect yourself. Please protect yourself. Because if you end up pregnant or with an incurable disease or anything like that, it's like your life is changed forever, all because of a quick 10-minute mistake. Please wear protection and get tested every 6 months. My next piece of advice is to go to class. Once you start skipping, it becomes like crack. Oh my God. It's like once you get a little taste of skipping, you will never go to class again. And don't let your professors not count attendance. It's like, you don't even need that class for real. That's what you start thinking. You're like, what am I even doing here? Once you start, you will never stop. If you cannot, like, make sure that every semester you are going to every single class and only miss class if you are sick or it is necessary, because otherwise you will never stop. Do not make any unnecessary journeys.
Don't make unnecessary journeys. Don't take risks on treacherous roads. And don't swim in the sea.
My next piece of advice is to be present in class. Put your phone down and listen. On top of your professor having an aneurysm because you have your phone out and deducting like 5 points, just be present in class and pay attention. It's not even the grade that matters. It's more so the fact that you are forcing yourself to do something that you don't want to do for the betterment of your life. You're teaching yourself to show up and to be present and to listen, write notes, and to be responsible for your own education. That is what college is. You are responsible for your own education now. Me personally, I was one of those people who, if you're not a teacher who's actually like teaching, like you're not sitting talking to us about something and making it relatable, I was not paying attention, because if you're just going to read off the slides that you posted on campus, I can just do that myself. But it's like a lot of the time you still miss key things. Like you still should show up and be present in class and listen, even if they are just reading off the slide, because a lot of the time, sometimes they maybe will go off into a tiny spiel, or maybe sometimes the slides are really necessary, important information that needs to be reiterated to you, and maybe the slides were the most simple way that they could put it. Please put that phone down for a second, get off TikTok, and pay attention. This next piece of advice, I'm being so for real with y'all. Like, talk to everybody that you can, talk to anyone that you can, talk to people. Like, make yourself more social in college. You need to be able to build connections with people, not only just in your major, outside of your major, because they say that the people that you meet in college are the friends that you have for life. When your friend calls you at 9 o'clock, you're already in bed, and you're like, I really don't want to go to this, but your friend's like, I really want you to go. You should go. You'll probably have the most fun you've ever had in your life. It's like sometimes you have to force yourself to do things that you don't want to do in order to get out of your box and make good friendships. Don't have FOMO because you wanted to play. You need to look on Rate My Professor. Rate My Professor is probably going to be like one of the best tools for college. While you're making your schedule, you need to be looking at these teachers and looking them up on Rate My Professor, because when I tell you, I just thought that was a whole bunch of bull. I'm like, okay, whatever teacher I get, I'm just going to be okay with that. Like, there's no teacher that's going to be terrible enough to make me drop them. No. Every teacher has a different grading system. Every teacher has different standards for their classroom. Once you read that syllabus, the syllabi for all of your classes, and you start to realize like, oh, so y'all are just making up as you go. Yes, they are. Some teachers just like to be like one of my teachers had a quote unquote contract grading system where they just gave you an A, C, or F. You have to understand that every single teacher is not here to help you be a better person, help you and navigate you through the hardships of college. Some teachers are here to make the hardships. Some professors are here to be the trials and the tribulations that you face before you go off into the real world. With that being said, make sure that you Rate My Professor, and make sure that you rate the professor at the end of the semester so that nobody else falls victim. You do not have to have a regular major. It's like you can do anything in college, basically. College is subjective. You don't have to have one specific major in order to do a job 9 times out of 10. And don't let people fool you into thinking that. Like when I was going to school, like my mom always told me that I should not have pursued music. Law was a much more stable job. She was bringing in her friends to try to convince me. And yeah, it could be, but at the same time, it was like, I don't have to just have a law major. I could just, I could do music as a minor. I could do music as a major, and then I could do law as a minor. You don't have to do one specific major. There is no like rule book on your life, if that makes sense. Just live your life day by day and see what happens. Or like you decided to be an art major or something like that. However, you are a marketing minor and you end up becoming somebody who does commercials and you're able to showcase your art. And like, you get what I'm saying? There is multiple routes that you can take for jobs that you have in mind. You can create your own job. This next one is a little piece of advice for moi. You still need to be studying and present for your online classes. I think I was doing one online class last semester. Let me tell you, you still need to study and be present and do the assignments throughout the week and not just wait until the last day that they're due to do online assignments. That is not what the online class is for. It's so that you can pace yourself and spread it out throughout the week. You do not, like, it's not for you to jam everything down into Sunday or Friday. It's not. So you need to be present and focus on your online classes and study for them as well, because now there's really nobody to push you to do your assignments or to remind you to do your assignments or to have you in a lecture hall every day. Talking to you, SaVannah. That is all the advice that I have for college students right now, incoming college students, current college students. Like, this is just my advice, things that I've thought about over. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Otherwise, the dryer is gonna shrink your clothes when you put them in there tonight. Bye.
We're gonna do something really hot now. So, put your hands together. Together. Just listen.